every franchise has a playbook, and that's what they sell. So any, average Joe off the street can buy the franchise, get the playbook, and they can have a McDonald's. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD podcast. We are talking about the CEO mindset. We're talking about the ability to scale your practice. Systems scale. Let me talk to you how to set up systems that will scale, the step-by-step process. This is the Ultimate OD podcast. Here we go. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD podcast. Thank you for the likes, listens, everyone that's been part of the journey. It's been fun. I can't believe I'm into year 5 of this podcast. On a weekly basis, I show up and talk optometry. About what? Who knows? Like, look at those early podcasts. And again, I cringed because I was trying to get a voice, figure out what I was going to talk about. But I love this business. I love talking optometry. I love speaking. This podcast has helped me be a better public speaker. It's helped me grow my vision for what I want my life to be. And it's just the next platform that I'm utilizing to mentor, right? To have an impact on other people's lives in a positive way, I hope. And like I tell everyone that kind of comes and shadows me or works with me, I'm going to be a great example or a horrible warning. But either way, you're going to learn something. So if you don't like what I have to say, keep tuning in every week, and I'll give you the exact playbook of what not to do. But hopefully you like what I'm talking about, and you learn something along the way. Today I want to talk about scaling, going to that next level, being more than just that startup optometry office. And I was there. I lived it. I started cold. I had one other employee, and everything ran through me, right? If I wasn't there, glasses wouldn't get ordered, appointments would be made the wrong way, just nothing would ever get done. Okay, fast forward to where I'm at now. Have one associate, gonna add another. We have 10 full-time employees. We have departments. We have front desk and techs. We have the optical department. I have an office manager that is training. I have very little input in the actual training. I tell them what I want them to get, and I kind of set the agenda, the direction, but it gets done by other people. I think that's amazing. Clinical care-wise, give guidelines, but I have great doctors that work with me. That's the best. That's so much fun. That makes me want to have more practice because I'm like, I can lead a team, right? And then I start thinking about the nitty-gritty and, what it takes to start another practice. And you always see all the issues, but core of it, I love this. I love this process. I do love patient care as well. I'm in the office, exam room, 3 days a week. I think that's the perfect amount because I want to stay connected to the doctors and actually being in there, grinding just like they do, and keeping my clinical skills high. One of the reasons why I don't have more offices is because I have always been dependent on a person, right? Whether it's the optical manager or this longtime employee that's been there for 7 years, right? If they were to leave, and most people listening to this, if there's one employee, if they left, you'd be like, oh no, we'd be in trouble. What do we do? Right? And that's the game I played for the past decade, right? I had really good employees, and I just couldn't get everyone else to get on board or do it the way we wanted, and we just depended on the best people. Well, when they showed up or they left, it'd be a lot of stress on me because I'd have to go back to doing a bunch of things that are, and I don't say this arrogantly, below my pay grade, right? I shouldn't be answering phones. I shouldn't be the one training the opticians in optical. I should set the standard of what we do, but someone else should be able to train that, right? And this is where you hear that saying, systems scale, not people, right? If you want to scale, if you want to get better, you need to have better systems. At my last P3 meeting, I went in front of my group and I said, I hear this all the time. Systems scale. It's not the people that get you there, it's the systems. So I'm like, what does that mean to you guys? How are you guys doing this? Do you have any systems in place? And they all kind of looked at me like, geez, that's a really good saying. We don't really know either. Right? They are in the same boat as me in the sense that we hear it, but what does it actually mean? Well, when you have good systems, you have the playbook. And that playbook then can go to multiple locations. Think franchising, right? Every franchise has a playbook, and that's what they sell. So any, average Joe off the street can buy the franchise, get the playbook, and they can have a McDonald's. They can have a Buffalo Wild Wings. They can have a Midas Tire. I don't know, right? These businesses have playbooks, and you just rinse, wash, and repeat. How do you do that in your office? Because there's so many different things that go on. It's incredibly overwhelming. Well, I have a 4-step process that helps you put these systems in place, right? This, whether you're going to get bigger or you're just starting out, you should do from day one. Now realize that as you grow, as you get bigger, as you add complexity to your business, you don't have to adjust these, but I'll tell you right now, if you have the playbook from the get-go, it's a lot easier to adjust an already written playbook than creating it on the fly, right? The key to scaling is simplification. And know it's really stinking hard in our business? Simplifying what we do. There's so many steps. I'm still trying to pare down as much as I possibly can. But let's go. Step 1. You need to define the key operations that you want to systematize. You want to figure out what is the most important things you do in your office. Number 1, how do you make an appointment? How do you answer phones? How do you do a workup? Right? Don't get too big, too complex, but everyone in your office should be doing this the same way. When it was just me and one other person, real easy to keep tabs on how they're doing it. Now that I'm never up front, I'm always in clinic or in my office working on the business, I don't know how that's going. So I have a standard in place. What you want to do is bring everyone into a room to do this as an office meeting. Everyone that answers the phone. I'll use that as the example, right? You're going to do this for your dry eye evaluations. You're going to do it for your myopia management. You're doing it for optical. Everything you do needs to have a system, right? Again, this can get really big and thick, but you'll understand the concept. Start with the most important things first, and you refine it down. Bring them all into a room and say, I want you all to write down these steps that you do when you make an appointment. It's number 1 through whatever, 10, 20. Hopefully there's not 20 steps. But what are the steps that you do? Don't collaborate right now. Everyone do it individually. So you defined one of the main things you want to do. You've had them write it out. This is awesome. Your first inclination probably was, I'm going to write the protocol and then I'm going to give it to them. Great in theory. Great if you're just starting and hiring one new person. You have to have something in place. None of you are in that situation. I'm sure you all have something that's going on right now. What you need to do now is get everyone on the same page, rowing in the same direction, right? So have them all write it down and then look at it. And you're going to realize there's a lot of discrepancy. Not everyone is doing it the same way. There's a lot of nuances. You take their input, and now you don't have to do it from scratch, and do it right down the way that you want it. Then present to them. So this might be a multiple meeting type thing. You look at what everyone's done, or you can do it live in real time, and you make a master protocol. Hey, why are we doing it this way? This is why I want you to do this way, right? You know what they're doing right now? Giving input. They're part of the process. Now when you have this system in place, they helped write it. Do step 3 because we all agreed this was important. If you just tell them what to do, they never signed off on it. Now they have a chance to give input and they're buying into the process. It also makes it easier on you because you don't have to do everything from scratch. You have a template that you can work off of. So you set the key process, you wrote it out. Then you took that step 3 is refining that process the way you want it. All right? All fine and dandy. Now you have to implement it. A lot of people like to give a new protocol, like to give a new initiative, but they don't know how to implement it. Implementation is absolutely key, and you have to be rigid because they're going to wait you out. They're trying to see how long you're committed to this until you have a new crazy, fancy idea that's going to take you in another direction, and they can go back to doing it the way they've always done it. You have to be stronger. This is a staring match, and you cannot blink. Also, make sure that you are calling out the good and talking to the people that are doing the bad, right? If the bad becomes blatant from everyone, group meeting, hey, we are not doing this step. If it's an individual, talk to them in private. Ask them, hey, what are we not getting, right? This can be a manager doing this. Doesn't have to be you. But what are we doing? Why is it not resonating? Let them know. Then what I would do is when you have a department meeting, you just put it out there broadly to everyone. Get them to communicate. Hey, how are you doing this? Take your A players that are doing it the way you want. How do you remember how to do that? What feedback are you getting from patients? Why are you doing this? Again, this is why you have to track the things that are important. In my office, I track multiple appointments made. We call it farming. No one's really shining in that right now, but I know who's doing it. We track it. So then I can say, Sally, you have no multiple appointments. Jane, you have 5. What are you doing? How are you doing this? Have the good help the bad, and then they collaborate. You're creating a team environment, right? This is how that system is going to scale, how you're going to reinforce, how you're going to implement it, right? Once you get in place, once you've gotten buy-in, the next thing you want to do is make this evergreen. So you're going to have a Loom video where you talk through the process. If the process is involving the computer with Loom, it's awesome because you can narrate what you're doing. Also, you can video your screen as you're doing it. This is awesome because if you have a key staff member that is the one that trains it all and they leave, you still have this training video that is evergreen. So you aren't losing key staff. You always have that training mechanism that you can refer new hires to that they can watch. I'll tell you this, it means a lot more to watch a video of it happening than reading a playbook. Most of my staff learns from watching and doing versus reading. When I give them a step-by-step process, very few of my staff members, that's the way they learn. Right? You have to hit it from multiple different angles. They're going to have to do it and see it, but this will create an evergreen process for everything you do. And once you have this, you now are able to scale, right? You can take all these systems, put it in a new office with a new location, and again, you still have to implement everything, but you have a foundation. And if I would have had something like that when I started the office, I would have been so far ahead. But what I did was put it all myself, have it be dependent on one key person. That person leaves, and I'm starting from scratch. Year after year, it gets old and tiring. This is what I've learned along the way, and I wanted to pass it on to you. So do those 4 steps, and those systems will help you grow faster than anything else you can do in the office. That's what I have. We'll have more for you next week. Where, oh where has the time gone? We are to the closing thought of the episode, and I'll leave you with this thought. It is not one of my favorite Jocko Willink quotes. This is someone else's, but I'm going to read the quote. One of my favorite Jocko Willink quotes is, aside from death, all failure is psychological. How many times have you done something that you thought was risky, only to realize it wasn't all that bad after the fact? Even when things don't go the way you want, it's almost never as bad as it seems. The truth is, most risks aren't real. The the expensive steak you overcooked can still be eaten. The money you lost in a failing business can be made back. Risk is just your ego showing up to protect itself. Interesting. I'm going to have to say I kind of agree, especially for us as optometrists, because unless you do something really stupid to lose your license, we can command a great salary anywhere, right? If you have a business that's you just mess up and ruin, you can go get a job for like 150K. You know, that's pretty awesome. It's a great thing to fall back on. You may not like how you're practicing or where you're practicing at, but that's your horrible situation. Knowing people would kill to have that. One of my big, I don't know, my mantras is you gotta take more risks. You gotta take bigger shots. You gotta take more chances. This is me talking to myself when I say that, and I'm like, a lot of the things I'm worried about happening are all in my head. They're not anything that's really gonna happen, or if it does, it won't be as bad as I make it out to be. But I'll tell you, I've had some sleepless nights when I've expanded, when I've grown. And 6 months later, I'm like, yeah, we're good. We're good to go. Let's keep the train going. And when I see other people talking about things they want to do, I literally tell them, you're going to be fine. It's going to work itself out. Just make the move. But we like to overthink. We are so caught up in the trees, we lose the forest. You got to take risks. You got to take chances. I hope that quote resonates with you and there's something that you've been on the fence on. Just make the move, take the shot. You'll thank me for it. I wish I would have taken more shots along the way. I'm still trying to take bigger ones as we go. That's what I have for you. Dr. Lily out.